Hey, great Thursday morning. It is a nice, beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville. It's actually kind of on the cooler side, which is a kind of a great thing. Good morning, Kathy. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
So, let me say it. It's I expected it to be a lot colder than what it is, but it really, really wasn't. It actually turned out to be a nice day. As to what were your expectations in regards to weather-wise? I mean, you look kind of like on the summer dress.
Summer dress side. Yes. Well, I'm excited that cool weather's coming in because I think we're long overdue. But I thought it was going to be cooler than what it is. But it's a very pleasant, a very nice weather. Well, I was up in Colorado for a week, so this weather is just nice. It gets cooler over there. It was already in the 30s, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice that we don't have to deal with the heat. Our bodies tend to want to have a little bit of cool weather once in a while, so we can enjoy. The sun is out and it's still cool.
Thank you, Kathy. Día. Uh, Let me say, I was talking to Roman earlier, and uh, I actually do work. A lot of people think that que nomás Erasmo spends all the time on social media. Actually, I got some work, and I want to apologize to everyone. Yesterday, I really had I was frustrated. Lo que pasa, Katy, is that I couldn't find a document that I needed for this morning. And and those times when you have the document, you knew you had it, lo guardaste, you just don't know exactly where it's at. And
Mhm.
I needed it, and I was going like, chinteras, donde fregado lo dejé. But one of the things that I always do, guys, I always do is I always make sure to have two documents. And I do that because you never know. Siempre es mejor prevenir que lamentar. And you think of the possibilities of things that could happen, and always be prepared. So what I did, I cut the short show last night. I mean, after like 3, 4, 5 minutes, I said I can't. Because what happens with me is once I become focused on something, it's very, very, very hard. Once I get distracted in regards to lo tengo en el pensamiento, no encuentro el papel, no encuentro el papel, no encuentro el papel. Yeah, I mean, nothing's going to come out this positive. But again, I found the extra document I turned it in this morning, and the young man just left, which I'm very, very happy. One of the things I think in business, Kathy, you know this, you always want to quedar bien with the client because recommendations are important. Word of mouth is what really sells the business. It's not so much as anything other. You could do all the marketing that you want, Kathy. You could put up beautiful signs. You could go on the radio. You could do whatever you want. But there's no better as the marketing than word to mouth recommendation. And
Correct.
I think that's one of the things that I think that a lot of our local officials have failed us on. Is that there's no word to mouth. There's no personas que digan they're doing a great job. They could go out there and poner las pancartas que quieran. They could put up the posts of all their accomplishments. But if the people are dissatisfied with the service, people are going to be dissatisfied with the service. My only concern is a lot of the times we tend to lash out at small business, at business owners, Kathy. You've had some clients that have got these horrible, terrible, terrible, and they lash out. I wish that with that same passion that a lot of people lash out at small business, at business owners, they would do with políticos, Kathy.
You know that it's unfortunate that when it comes to politics, I think are already tired and they've given up. Because I talk to some of my own family members and they're like, it's a very few, it's a very elite group that truly want to make a difference and that will answer to the public and that will sustain and own what they want to do. And the others is puro lip service, puro lip service. I
Lip
mean,
service.
let me tell you, lip service, not only that, the person that does good in life does not go out there and start flaunting, I've done this, I've done that. The leader, the good leader that's a doer, is not going to flaunt all their successes or all their accolades. One thing that I noticed is that a lot of our leaders are in like about 10, 15, 20 committees, 10 to 15 committees. How can you attend mentally, intellectually, and wholeheartedly to those committees when you're in this one, this one, this one, this one? O sea, el que mucho abarca poco aprieta. You're not really being of service. And
Yeah.
then they come out and they go run for an election. Oh, I have all these experiences. Please stop. Half of that you probably really don't even know, or half of that you're going to do mediocre. you
Well, I
know
I think that a lot of these people, like the Sampayos, the Limas, and all these other people in the cities, I mean, they're into all those committees because they rake in the cash. I mean, look at the Limas, the brothers. I mean, Sampaio todavía está más más under the radar. Look at the Limas, and we discovered it. I mean, we've seen it, we've shown it. They're making a killing. They're raking in the dough as that at people's expense. So yeah, it makes sense that these guys hold no other position out there except being on all these committees and boards. They make a killing, Kati.
Yeah, because that's where they're linked into the knowing, into the know. And yet, when they're linked into that, they really don't share with the public what they're supposed to be sharing. Being part of that committee is to bring out to the public, it's to make sure that you educate your community as to what's going on in those areas. And that's never happened. It's just, when are the citizens of Brownsville truly gonna wake up and start accepting the people that are vocal, the people that stand firm on their ground and say, hey, it is what it is, regardless of how many signs the other person that comes and portrays to be this holy roly individual. No, no. Enough is enough, guys. That's why Brownsville, if you see, Brownsville hasn't really done much. And you can tell there's a lot of poverty around throughout the community. Everything that you look at, guys, is not something to go wow for. It's not.
It isn't. Good morning, Bonnie. Good morning, Kanina. Good morning, Mari. And good morning to all the staff out there at Davida Dialysis. I love what y'all do. My sister used to work there. I don't know if she still works there actually, but great folk out there. Love y'all at Davida. Nelda, good morning. Good morning. Roman se quedó dormido. Time for some menudo. Good morning to both of you. Hector, my man. Love you, Papa. Good morning, Erasmo and Expresses Garcia. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Erasmo and Kathy. Good morning. Good morning, friend. Good morning, mi amor. What did you get from the lawyer? What policy about nepotism was he talking about that has changed in 2016? You're talking about Rick Sayas. Rick Sayas, let me tell you, is a paid hack. That's what Rick Sayas is. He's a paid hack. He's going to go out there and say, look, it's his job to go out there and say, hey, my client is innocent. And I think it looked really, really bad that Rick Sayas actually had to go speak in public comment in order to go out there and throw some hype for some cheers for Minerva. Did y'all notice it was the only individual that went out there and stood for Minerva? I mean, the other individual that was in the audience, I don't know if you knew this, Kathy, was that registered sex offender. He was out there in the audience at BISD. I mean, is he going to, did they do anything? Did the BISD police security escort him away from the premises, being that it is a school facility? No, of course not. Of course not. They get to do whatever they want. But let's talk before we'll close out with the city. But let me tell you, Kathy, as much as people may say, oh, the board took action on Minerva, they did nothing. Nothing. They read a resolution where all they did was say, well, she's already volunteered not to go, so we're okay with that. She won. She kicked their butt. She literally kicked their teeth right in front of all of our eyes. She literally kicked their teeth. Like, y'all can't do anything to me. And that's disgusting. Because with a lot less, Kathy, with nothing in our case, they came after us with everything they had.
Yep. And I didn't do anything, honestly. The only thing I did was speak my mind. I was very vocal. And it also, they were trying to bring in one of those shark companies, loan companies, shark loan companies.
Oh yeah. I remember.
So I started to question, why are you going to bring a loan company to our employees that's going to charge 28% interest, and then on top of that, the company wants for us to deduct their from their payroll and send them the money. So that means that we have our staff on payroll to do the job, and all they're going to do is collect. What's wrong with this picture, guys? Somebody's in cahoots here, and they didn't like it. So they said, man, this girl is just digging, and we got to keep her mouth shut. My case was different. With Minerva's case, let me tell you, by the way, why there was a Spanish show many years ago in Spanish that I used to watch, Viruta y Capulina. That's who I saw yesterday. Between Minerva was Capulina and Rick Sayas was Viruta. There were like, you can emphasize in the TV shows or in a movie here, Dumb and Dumber. That's just the way it is. But they got ahead of the game because they were both always together as board members. So, of course, she seeks out to somebody that's going to represent her, and they play the game. At the end of the day, like Erasmo says, yes, the board didn't do much. They allowed her to come back and dictate what she wanted. No, you're the majority. You dictate. Don't let her dictate. Do not allow her to dictate. She has done wrong. She has played the wrong side. Just the simple fact that she supported a criminal attorney. Baltasar Salazar had a criminal background, and she supported for our taxpayers' dollars to pay his salary. And he was making as much as a superintendent. Why? Because he supported her when she needed funding for her campaign, when she needed funding for Pony Little League. I mean, bottom line, guys, bottom line, we're dealing with people who play us, who think that we're dumb, that we're not smart enough to be able to hold them accountable. And at the end of the day, guys, it's up to us as citizens to unite and start holding people accountable. Literally hold them accountable. They want to do it to one person, but not the other. What's wrong with this picture? Just think about how they feel about you as citizens. They serve one group, but not the other. That's what it that's what it becomes. They believe in serving one group only, but not the other. They believe in disciplining one leader, but not the other. That's not the way it works, guys. That's not the way it should work.
It isn't. And let me say is that I was disgusted. I expected a little bit more from the board. I was actually ready. It's one of those cases where you're ready to go like, hey, great job, guys. You finally done your due diligence and you've done your job. They didn't do their job yesterday. As to that little resolution that they worded out, it says nothing, absolutely nothing that has not already been said before. It was just a fart. It's just a fart. But I see the P word. It's just a bunch of fart. It's all it was. A bunch of fart, a bunch for the show. They never talked about the nitty gritty. They didn't even mention the maintenance issue and the issue with federal funds. Look, guys, I've been screaming, guys, since 2 years ago, since I was on the board. I was screaming for the audit, screaming. Superintendent refused to move on it. The other board members refused to move on it. You expect that we got a new board here, that they're going to move on it. But Mary Tolman is still in charge of federal funds, guys. She still has her hand in the cookie jar. She controls the cookie jar. And we already know that there's a mess at maintenance department with the fertilizer that stinks, guys. And look, they put the health safety of our children and staff in jeopardy by disposing of it improperly, guys. Out at the encampment, they buried some at the encampment. They threw some out there in maintenance, guys. Do we even know what's in that fertilizer? Sure as heck we don't. Not even close. No clue. No concept. Nothing was done on it.
And you know what we need to do? We need to file a complaint with the Texas Commission of Environmental Protection. That's the bottom line. If that powder or that fertilizer blows in the air, it's in the air. It's out in the air. People that are around there, employees that are around there, they're going to breathe that. They're going to intake that. So to me, it seems that, first they spent taxpayers' dollars. for the fertilizer. Okay. They want to dispose of it because obviously they couldn't use it. It's my understanding that an employee, an administrator owns the company. So when, let me tell you, if it was a student, if it was a teacher, if it was a parent that does anything wrong on BISD campus, they're going to lynch you. They're going to lynch you. They're going to hold you accountable. They're going to throw you. They're going to call the police and they're going to throw you in jail or whatever they need to do, and they'll press charges. Why don't they behave and act the way they act with other people, with the people that do wrong? Whether it's a board member, whether it's an administrator, whether it's somebody that did wrong, just hold them accountable. When are we going to start setting precedents? It's not that we have anything personal against anybody. It's starting to set precedents. Do what you got to do. That's why we keep asking you all, is that you need to start putting your foot down. You need to start putting your foot down. You need to start demanding from your leaders that they need to do what's right, not what's wrong, that you're tired of it.
We're all tired of it.
That's why voting empathy is so low, because, people just, they say, well, we voted. No. I'm going to tell you, these people put up a farce. They portray to be these great people. And at the end of the day, they have power. They forget because they say, hey, I got elected. They can't remove me. Yes, you can. If you have enough, you can remove them. Believe me, other districts, they've hold board members accountable. Board members have gone to jail. Believe me, I've read numerous cases. But at the end of the day, what happened with Minerva and Rick is an attorney. Remember, in the school of law, it's the interpretation. The interpretation. Whatever is read and whatever is written.
It's a travesty. What do you think about your post that someone sent in that talks about Brownsville losing their approval on future orbital flights due to the environment? Look, guys, I'm going to say this, and again, when I first came out with it some months ago, maybe a year ago, in regards to, guys, we're going to lose SpaceX. We're going to lose all the benefits to it. Not so much, but let me tell you, and I'll tell you why I confirmed what I stated a year ago, many months ago, guys. Because when Mayor Mendez was out there saying, well, if we lose SpaceX, it's going to be Erasmo's fault. I mean, he literally said that, guys, that if we lost SpaceX, it was going to be Erasmo's fault. He literally said this because Erasmo is very negative. No, Mayor, we're going to lose SpaceX because nobody wants to deal with a corrupt political machine that exists here in Cameron County, that exists here in the city of Brownsville. Do you think Elon Musk and the Musk Foundation was happy to know that the mayor of the city of Brownsville was pocketing most big old chunk of the money that Elon Musk was giving to the people of Brownsville? Of course not, guys. Nobody. And look, Elon Musk, guys, $30 million is nothing. I mean, the guy's a trillionaire, guys. I mean, going to be classified as a trillionaire, the first trillionaire. You think $30 million is important to Elon Musk? No, son migajas que les tiró a la city of Brownsville. The problem with the issue is that que Ramiro Gonzalez, in his position as a public servant, as a servant who was earning money from the city, from taxpayer dollars, city of Brownsville, acomodó todo so that he could make a killing, the mayor could make a killing, the Limas brothers could make a killing, guys. So, no, Mayor, if the Musk Foundation is upset, they're upset at the greedy, filthy, pathetic little hands that y'all have been shoving down their throats in order to put those little hands back in your stupid little pockets. Y'all are to blame. And nobody wants to deal. At that level, guys, nobody wants to deal with a corrupt politician. No one.
Let me share with you. I was selling a house I sold a house to an engineer, and it really bothered me because he looked at me and says, trust me, I know your all's dirty, corrupt system here. I know we can get it done. How much does it take for me to be able to get my house ready? He says, I know. That's what's happening to our boss. Guys, it really bothers me, honestly, wholeheartedly, I'm sharing with you, I feel embarrassed. I feel ashamed that I live in a community like Brownsville that is portrayed already. It's seen, it's known to be corrupt. It's factual. It's factual because
Can be proven.
even builders say, "Nombre,
It can be
aquí."
proven. 100% proven.
What?
It
What
can
was
be
that?
100% proven.
Yeah, I mean, and guys, it's been done over and over. Why? Because all they get is this little slap in the hand.
Yeah.
No, as citizens demand. It is our right, but one or two, three people is not gonna make it happen.
No.
We need the force. The numbers is power.
Let me say, guys, the mayor could go out there and cry all he wants, and all the other folks and little entities can cry all they want. They know the truth. The truth of the matter is, it is proven. We can prove with facts that the politicos here in Cameron County are corrupt. But it's not just the politicos. Look at, we suffered with Abel Limas, guys. Que vergüenza, no? That one of our judges, Abel Limas, was found guilty out there. Well, how do we, how do we make sure, guarantee that this doesn't happen again? Well, then we put his nephews on all these boards and committees. How does that make sense to anyone? Now the nephews are out there making a killing, guys. They're bleeding the city dry, folks. They're bleeding the city dry. They're taking the money that should go to your children. They're taking the money that should go back into the community, guys. And they're benefiting themselves. They're benefiting the politicos like Tony Martinez, Trey Mendez, Ramiro Gonzalez, and all these other individuals out there. So do you really, really think that Elon Musk, the Musk Foundation, wants their name tarnished by a Brownsville mayor? Hell no. They'd rather go to California, to Florida, guys. They're leaving California. They're coming to Texas, coming to Austin, Texas. You think they're going to come and set up shop in Brownsville, Texas? No. But it's not because Erasmo Castro is out here calling the mayor out. It's because the mayor is a rata. And everyone else on those boards and committees are ratas. They're pocketing your money. Erasmo's not taking your money, guys. I mean, I'll take it, but I'm not taking your money in that in the level that they are. They're the ones that are ripping you off blind. So I don't doubt it for a second that Elon Musk and a big old chunk of the to Mars launching is actually going to go to Florida, guys. I don't doubt it a bit. And let me say, as much as it may sound party partisan, you got Republicans running Miami-Dade County and Miami out there, guys, because of a lot of the Cumans out there, very conservative.
And let me tell you, they're conservative. I went to Miami-Dade County when I was on the school board. That school system was in the verge of bankrupt. They brought in Carveo, I believe. He was from Peru. He was a person from Peru. He came in and he came into the U.S. with the desire of the American dream. And let me tell you, he became a superintendent. He's got an excellent reputation. That school district that was about to go bankrupt, on the verge of bankrupt, he brought it in. He worked with the Republican team. And it's not about parties, guys. It's about the people that are doing, that are truly caring. Let me tell you, it's such a shame. It's such a shame because what I lived, what I saw, and I'm blessed that the citizens of Brownsville gave me the opportunity to see what it truly is to be inside and the challenges that we have and how certain people, leaders, do want to make a difference and do want to help the citizens so they live better. If the cost of living is low, we're not going to have a better life. The cost of living if the cost of living is low, we're going to have a much better life because our salaries are high. Our salaries here are still low. The rents are high. Property value, the sales of homes are very high. There's a group now of people that cannot afford to purchase homes anymore. Ever since we brought in all this Elon Musk show and everything that's going on, it's ruined our community. I know for a fact, people enjoy coming to move to Brownsville because we have the environment, not the environment, but the weather that people like. A lot of the people that move here is because of the weather.
Yes.
People are moving from California because of the heavy traffic, their fires. I mean, there's a lot of things that we attract people to because we're close to the beach, close to the border. People that their medicine is too expensive, they just cross over the border and they're able to live with a retirement. There's a lot of things, guys, and if we do not make a difference by making sure that we have the right leaders that can run this community and see the why we need a certain individual or certain individuals that think alike that can move this community forward, if we keep the same group that it's a clique, it's only to serve themselves, we're never going to get ahead, guys.
No.
We're never going to get ahead.
Free bus rides every day, support the elderly, persons with disabilities, and students in the working class. That's one of the things. Let me say, Gabriel, that's one of the things that I tried to work on when I was on the board to get our students who cross over from Mexico. Because let me tell you, the district benefits greatly from I would say, thousands of students that come across daily, and they have to pay for their own transportation because they have to get the bus system. And, I understand what you're saying out there, Gabriel. And I hope, Gabriel, that you consider. You're very, very outspoken and are trying to be more outspoken. I really, really hope you consider a city commission position soon, because I think you would be an awesome asset to the city of Brownsville, and a voice for a lot of our folk out there. So and something Kathy is saying is right. We need to start thinking about these individuals that have been there for far too long and constantly want to come back. For what? What have they done? We're still stagnant. We're a joke to every other industry out there in the United States. We're the butt of the country. The butt. I mean, is it coincidence that we're at the very, very tip, a la puntita de la cola of the country? Man, we're the joke of everyone out there. People that come into real estate, people that come in to do business in this area, we're the joke. Not even McAllen and Harlingen take us serious anymore, guys. And it's because of these individuals that continue to pocket the resources that should be going to the people of Brownsville. It's just that simple, guys.
And if we look at on a yearly basis, if it's not the city, it's the county. If it's not the county, it's the district. And if it's not the district, it's the university. I mean, we're always with something going on with the politicians that service every entity, And let me tell you, like the district deals with federal funds, local funds, and state funding. And if we have good grant writers, they go out and they get grant money. We could have 4 sources, or we do have 4 sources. I don't know how much we get in grants, but federal funds is your food service, your transportation, special ed. You see, when you elect your people, make sure that they know that they're going to understand what they're going to be dealing with and how they're going to hold administration accountable, because your superintendent, your board members, and your administration are supposed to be well aware of where the funds are supposed to be coming in and how much we're going to be spending out of those funds.
I never leave that place. What can I do to hold them accountable? Kathy mentioned contact the Texas Environment. What is it, Kathy?
Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. And if we have a local office here in Harlingen, what I can do is, are you going to have the 9:00 show?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What I'll do is we'll post it where you can file the complaint. You can also contact them directly to their phone number and file a complaint. They have a legal service department. They have the investigation department, and they have their local. We have a local one here in Harlingen that handles any complaints, so they can look at the matter and take care of it as possible. And they do. They don't take it lightly. The Texas Commission of Environmental, they're very serious about what's out there and where we have it and who is it exposed to. They're serious.
Yeah, we'll post it this evening. SpaceX is leasing the old taylorcraft factory at the airport and industrial facilities at the Port of Brownsville to expand manufacturing activity. Look, we want all business here in Brownsville as much as we can get. And for a lot of folk out there that wanting to nitpick in regards to one thing or the other, guys, we need economic development here like desperate. I mean, we're not getting the influx of money coming in from Mexico in regards to individuals because of the bridges being closed down, guys. I mean, we're losing. I think I read $5 billion, guys, in revenue for the valley. $5 billion. Don't quote me on the amount, but and I could see how, guys, because we're not getting the individuals that are coming in over and shopping. We need to maintain somehow, and that federal tit is going to run out sooner or later. If not, it's already run out already. Plus, you have to take into consideration that once a lot of these organizations start realizing that politicians are making a killing off of the federal money that's coming down, like this is what happened with this fertilizer crap. The fertilizer crap. The reason the FBI is questioning and investigating the matter, guys, is because it was bought with federal funds, the COVID funds, guys. That was federal monies, guys. Money that should have gone to the health, the safety of staff and students, guys. Instead, it's kind of ironic, no? The money that was sent for COVID, for the health, the well-being, the safety of the students, was used to put money into these political people, their administrators at BISD, and actually placed students and staff and community
At
health
risk, in
in
danger.
danger. Isn't that ironic, Ati? Crazy.
But look, again, we go back to account. Who are you going to hold accountable? You have a purchasing department, right? You have the administrator in the facilities department that owns the company. So where's purchasing? Where's the check and balance to say, hey, wait a minute, how can you be, the buyer? How can you be an employee of the district and buying or selling the product? Either or, right? Where's the question of that administration from purchasing and the buyers? Because they have buyers in there, the people that are in charge of the buying of the supplies and contacting the vendors and so forth. What is going on? So there's an infestation of corruption at all levels, or they don't care. It's an I don't care attitude. It's okay, let it be mentality.
Yes, I agree 100%. Again, the irony of it all. It's about love of our nation and what it represents, helping the people. 100%. That's public service. Exactly. Rich people don't use their money; they use the money that belongs to the poor. That's exactly what the city has been using. I mean, the clear example, guy. And again, the mayor may go out there and say, "Oh, it's just fake news. They're being negative." The facts are the facts. He bought a piece of property for $385,000, Kathy, $400,000, 385, 400, and then they go and get $200,000 that belongs to you for remodeling, for whatever the hell they want to do with it. Your money. That's what they wanted to use to purchase that property. So again, guys, yeah, is that they have control. They set the guidelines, guys. They set the parameters, which includes the mayor, the Limas, and their little clique of people. But it excludes everybody else, guys. Look, I'm still waiting. My family is still waiting for $5,000, guys. A check for $5,000 that BCIC promised to turn over last week. Still waiting. I mean, they asked for my mother's citizenship papers to prove she was a U.S. citizen, guys. That's how thorough these people were. So my question was, did you ask Trey Mendez for his citizenship papers? Did you ask Ramiro Gonzalez for his citizenship papers? I mean, almost a cavity search to give a business that has been serving the community for 40 years, guys, 40 years, $5,000. And the mayor started a business 3 months ago, an LLC, 3 months ago. And the guy's going to qualify for $200,000? Is he a citizen? Elon is not going anywhere. He lives here. He's separated from his girlfriend to be here. His dreams are here. I don't know. I don't know, Mateo. I hope politicians don't want to hear it. No, they don't. Quality of infrastructure, educational system, public safety, low taxes, and our workforce is critical. However, another component that an entrepreneurs look at is the integrity of local governments. I agree, guys. And it's a joke what we have.
That's coming from Carlos Cascos, by the way. Yes.
Yeah, it's a joke, Kathy. At the county level, the county judge, guys, the county judge has a fundraiser for his re-election, guys. Todavía he wants to get re-elected. The piece of crap wants to get re-elected. Has a fundraiser in Hidalgo County. Hidalgo County. And he's out there catering to all the construction companies, the contractors, and those are the ones that were dishing out those $5,000 checks. $5,000 checks. Because you know what? It's always from groups that are outside of Brownsville, outside of Cameron County, that want to feed off the people of Brownsville, Texas, and Cameron County. And they don't do it because we have a lot of money. They do it because we're cheap. Our politicians are cheap. Se venden por tan poquito.
They sell themselves. So it's unfortunate. But right now that Mr. Castro, that former Judge Cascos touched base, it's very true what he says. Infrastructure, the quality of life, infrastructure, education. I'm going to tell you, when we get people from the East Coast, West Coast, Canadians, and they come down here, that's what they look for. Safety, public safety, low taxes. That is what brings them down here. Exactly what Judge Cascos, I respect him dearly, very highly. He's done his work. He's proven himself. He's a hard worker. Let me tell you, what he says right now on Erasmo Castro's site is very true. That is what's going to make each community a strong, prosperous community. If we want to prosper, we need leaders that are going to focus on all those issues. And those leaders need to roll up their sleeves, have the right people work in the right departments to be able to do what we need to get done. That's the bottom line.
The bottom line. And look, guys, the mayor said it's not public money. It's private Elon money. Any donation is for the people. And I agree with Jessica. Let me say, guys, any monies that come in, and look, it serves the corrupt political machine, guys. It serves the Judge Eddie Trevino. It serves Mayor Mendez, guys. It serves them for us to be the poorest community in the country. And the reason is because we get all this federal money, guys, all this state money, all this donated money, guys, all this stuff that they ultimately control. And they dictate where it goes, guys. And let me tell you, a big old chunk of that money goes into the pocket of these corrupt politicians, guys. And it's money that should go for the people of Brownsville, the people of Cameron County. That's where the money should go. But they don't want greater voter turnout. They don't. They don't want us to excel in regards to economic development. They don't. Because mientras nos tienen con el pie en el cuello, en el pescuezo, guys, they're harvesting, guys. They're collecting big old fat checks from Uncle Sam, from Papi Elon, and from Grandfather Abbott, guys. Simple as that. Because that's what they depend on. They depend on us continuing to be como ovejitas llevadas al matadero, guys, donde nomás están trasquilando la lana. Lana, I refer to cash.
Cash.
Good morning. Good morning. I suggest that you have a weather segment if you want more views. Let me tell you, Frankie, I'm kind of concerned with your weather predictions because I actually wore my thick coat today and I was sweating all the way to my office because I listened to Frankie's show on Wednesday and You know what? Again, Frankie, you were wrong. It's not cold. Our county judge, past and present, have gone to go to Hidalgo to get money from Hidalgo people who have interest in Cameron County. It's got to stop, guys. It's got to stop. Is Carlos going to return? I'm going to say, yeah. Yes, I'm going to say, I'm not going to announce or pretend to announce. I think that Carlos Castro's sister will be soon announcing. Judge Cascos is spot on, but that's not who we are. No, not at all. Not 40. Yes, the money is for the people, but Elon doesn't care. He is too busy running around making billions, trillions. I don't. His companies care to check how the money is being. Well, I will say that I did hear that the Musk Foundation was not happy with the mayor and the city government. That is what I heard. That they were not happy. That is why right now Trey Mendez is out there saying, "Well, it's Erasmo's fault," because everything is Erasmo's fault. Just feel that he's
fault.
Yeah?
The politics are your fault too.
Yes, of course, no doubt. I just feel that at least 50% of those boards were the people that the funds were meant for. Yes, that's all that's all I asked for, Mateo. Look, I want 100% of these boards and committees to be filled with the actual people, guys. People that need these funds, that are going to care about their families, guys. I'd be content with 50%. They should be 100% filled instead of the greedy, manipulative, political, corrupt individuals that we have right now, like the Limas, the Sampayos, and all these other, the Signs, and all these other people that are out there on the PUB board, on the beautiful Brownsville Beautification Board, on the GBEC board, on the BCIC board, everywhere. I have always wondered who benefits from keeping Brownsville from progressing. Yeah, the corrupt political machine, guys. I've been, and Lolita, you've known me for a while. I've been screaming about it for years. The corrupt political machine has us in poverty and will continue to have us in poverty because it benefits them. It benefits them.
The least you get involved, they get a name because they're not questioned. There's no setback for them because they think, well, they don't know. Why should they know? That's the mentality. And no, that's why we need to be in the know. That's why we need to stay on top of things and
100%.
Start holding them accountable.
No, aquí estamos peor que el Correa del Norte.
Sí, no.
I bought more dry fit, bros. We're having a short winter this year. En vergüenza nos ponen el Elon Musk. Cierto, linda. Cantu Construction makes crappy buildings. I don't know who they are, but I trust Lolita. Are the narcos involved in the LLCs? Well, yes. Some of them.
Well, let me tell you, it's so funny right now that you asked that. The corporation, the LLC from BISD that has something to do with the stuff that they bought. What was it? The fertilizer that they bought. The people are from Vallehermoso, donde está parte de la papa los narcos. I don't get it, guys. It's just beyond me.
Kathy is 100% correct. Kathy, I need to perform a ceremony. Any last words?
Guys, stay safe. Have a blessed day. Go be positive. Stay positive. Smile. Just keep it moving.
Guys, yes. Thank you, Kathy, for coming on. We'll have some more information tonight at 9 p.m. Guys, I got a wedding to do, believe it or not. Guys, thank you all so much for understanding about last night's show. It was a crazy, crazy time for me. I greatly, greatly appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming on. Continue to spread the word, guys. There's a lot of information that needs to be shared with more people in the city of Brownsville. Yes, they do, 100%. Guys, I'll see you tonight at 9 p.m. Guys, be good to each other, and please continue to be good to me. God bless.